ICLEI member cities. Then moved on to the second webinar on implementing nature-based solutions for cooling cities, which showcased inspiring projects like the green corridors of city of Mannheim, and followed by the one on role of green roofs and facades in cooling cities. Today, we are excited to present the third and final webinar of the series, the role of urban planning and digital twins in cooling cities. This session has an overarching perspective integrating many strategies that have been applied in cooling cities. In addition to the 3 webinars, we're happy to announce that the much anticipated Cooling Cities Guide has been released, and you all should have received an online copy. If not, please do reach out to us and we'll be happy to share it with you. Finally, we'll be launching a manifesto on cooling cities at our one and the only Aalborg conference, which will be held next week, and we hope we'll see some of you there in person. I'm Bart Rama, Senior Expert at ICLEI Europe, and will be co-moderating this session together with the Head of Teams, Carsten Roth-Baller. We extend the warm welcome and thank our speakers and participants. We're delighted that you joined us today and look forward to an engaging and lively discussion. With that, I pass the mic to Carsten, who will be leading the moderation of the session and will introduce today's program and the speakers. Carsten, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bart, and a warm welcome to you as well, and cool that you are here for this exciting topic. Having said that, we have a full agenda packed with different experts. So if we move to the next slide, we will see that we will actually have 4 presentations lined up for you. First of all, looking at cooling approaches and strategies here with the view of a metropolitan area, Barcelona, that is. Master planning is in the hand of Isabel Tomé. She is head of urban planning office, master plan drafting service at the urban policy development area. And with that view of how a metropolitan areas is planning its cooling strategies, we then go into the perspective of a German town, a German city called Rosenheim, where we have the insights of Katrin Dross. She is project coordinator here in that German city, and she's looking at real-world application of digital twins in urban planning. So we have, after planning, also the digital component here that is also backed by Dr. Stefan Trompeter, also German in SME in Germany, that is specialized on digital twins, and he's presenting a tool which he calls Powerful. Let's see the power in a minute. And then last but not least, we're going to the city of Arnhem, where also cooling strategies are realized within a network system, and more to hear about that. As I said, the agenda is packed, so I'm passing on immediately to Isabel. Thank you for being here. The view of Barcelona metropolitan area. Over to you, Isabel.
Thank you, Carsten, and thank you, Bart, for inviting us to share our vision for Barcelona for the next 30 years. I'm going to share my presentation. Okay. I hope you can see it. Okay. So, well, and as I have only 7 minutes, I'll try to highlight the main lines about cooling, our strategy about cooling the city. Okay. Next. Sorry. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I cannot. Oh, no, sorry. What happened? Sorry. There's always some problems, no? You know.
The slides are changing, so you're good.
Are changing? I can see it. I don't know which slide I have. Right.
From vision to reality.
Okay, that was the last one. So I'm sorry.
The reality is already.
Why I don't know why I can.
If you want, we can share the slides. Then
now I found another way.
Okay.
Good. Sorry, it's always a problem. Okay, so we are working on the master plan for the metropolitan area for the next 30 years, and in a context that we all know of climate change with high temperatures problems, and also the different changes in the rain normal thing. Okay, sorry. So the first thing I want to explain is that in this context of climate change, one of the decisions was to change the classical approach of urban design, where the mobility infrastructures were the first thing you decide, and then the other things were like secondary, to put the green infrastructure as the center of the plan. Okay, so, and then structure by civic mobility streets, and finally integrate the high mobility infrastructure. So the idea is that as the change is going to be here and it's not easy to, we have to manage with the mitigation of the impacts and adaptation of the effects. I'm sure you all know about this, so I'm going to go to the next slide. One of the main lines, as I say, is to impose the green infrastructure. So we decided to, first decision was to preserve all the open spaces and to promote the forestry and agriculture, and not to go on expanding the city. And then in the inside the city, we put a network of parks and green access that go infiltrate on all the urban fabrics and near to everybody. And are connected to the open spaces to get a more resilient system altogether. As a regulatory level, the focus is on put a minimum of vegetation canopy, but also on a minimum of permeability of the ground. That's important because both things are going to contribute to the cooling of the places. This network is set in that way, such a way that every citizen has, in a very short time from their homes, one of these elements of parks or green access, and also can achieve the open spaces in a short time, more or less. Okay. Next. The other big line of is an strategic level for all the fabrics that are in the city, all the urban fabrics, the tissues. Here we have three main lines. The first one is to work on the improvement of the physical and functional balance. This is going to have an impact on mobility. If you have a more diverse city, and so the second line is about social cohesion, where we put a special attention on which ones of these parts that we are putting on the blueprint are already there or not. So everybody, as soon as possible, gets to have this access to these places that we think that could be like climate shelters, and that you need to have in proximity for these really hot days that we have now. And the third one is about urban environmental quality. Here we focus on rehabilitation of the buildings and removal of the public spaces to introduce all these things of vegetation and permeability of the soil, etc. And also one strategy about greening the city, like promoting that the buildings also have some natural-based solutions like green roofs, green walls, etc. So we analyzed the whole city with a series of premises and look for what the places that don't fit these standards we are asking for. We are also trying to develop a tool that we call bioclimatic criteria, that is like tries to set the minimum quality, the relation between buildings and void, to promote the lower temperatures and also the pollution dispersion. No, like I think now we have the tools to really to go with a more complex analysis of the places and to be able to follow it through time. That thing, I think the digital things and tools like that will really help us to approximate, to analyze the city in a new way and really more complex one. Finally, I have some, I don't know the time, sorry. Finally, I had some, just these examples of things that are really going on today, because we cannot wait till everything is approved in the plan. But there are many initiatives that are already working. So, for example, we are working on a network of climate shelters, so the population has know where to go during the day in these very hot days. And it's composed by parks and also facilities, public facilities. We're also working on analyze where this green roof potential is bigger, so to maybe to find some policies to promote it or to make it the implementation. There are also these renovation projects that you probably heard about, like the Superilla Barcelona, where already this kind of quality of the public space has been realized, and also some projects that promotes the rehabilitation, the increasing the thermic isolation for the houses from the buildings, both private, public. No, like it's difficult. The people you have to invest money to get a better home, but sometimes it's not easy for the people depending on the incomes and so. Maybe there are some experience about public and private collaboration that are very interesting here in Santa Coloma, like Pirineos. And okay, and this was more or less the highlights of the plan. You can also find a lot of information in this web page we have put on, launch on, where you can really, consult and navigate interactively with the different layers of the plan. This is a new way we have to interact with the citizens and with everybody. And that's it. Okay. Oh, sorry. There was and that was it. It's okay. I didn't count the minutes. Sorry, but do I have more time? Is okay? No. Okay.
Thanks, Isabel. I think it's great the vision you've shared with us on the Barcelona Metropolitan area plan, and I think this was something that inspires other cities as well. I would like to put a question, maybe it would be beneficial for other cities, like what lessons can other cities learn from Barcelona's experience in terms of integrating cooling strategies into the urban planning, and how they can be adapted into kind of different contexts.
There's a question? Okay, sorry. Okay, I don't know. I mean, the thing is that it's clear that we have to face the problem in many different levels and to tackle it with many strategies, because it's very urgent, and it's clear that the nature-based solutions is going to be one of the big things we have to work on. And this structure, this green infrastructure, is going to be the basis of this cooling. I think is strategic, but also all the efforts on renewal of the building park, all these buildings of our cities, and so I don't know, and that I think the new analysis, the new tools we have, really could help to see where it is more important to work, and also to be able to follow how the changing is going on, and then readapt to put the effort where it is needed.
Thank you very much, Isabel. You have 4 more questions in the chat, so maybe you can attend them. One of them was if you could share, for instance, the link to the tool you have just shared, in which the citizens can interact with the city council, so that I'm sure you can share, and please also attend the other question. Having said that, you also hinted to the tool and possibilities of using tools nowadays, and that brings us to the second presentation, real-world applications of digital twins in urban planning. Katrin, the floor is yours. Over to Rosenheim in Germany.
Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm trying to share my screen. Just a second. Hope it works.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Fine. My name is Katrin Drosser, and my role in Rosenheim, that is located about 60 kilometers southeast from Munich in Germany, is the project coordinator for our project WOLOS, which deals with structural physical design of urban surfaces for sustainable livability and environment quality in cities. And we also focused on heat. And in 2018, they started the installation of a 3D model, city model, which did mainly Stefan, who will say a few more words about it later on. And it included an urban tree and green city space database. And compared to Barcelona, Rosenheim is very small. It has only 65,000 inhabitants. It's not very big. And we have 2 main risks, like most cities. We have heat and flash floods from climate change. We have 2 big rivers, the Mangfall and the Inn. We are very close to the mountains, to the Alps, which brings huge amounts of rainfall. But here we have the focus on heat. And what we did in the project, in the second part of the project, we expanded and upgraded the 3D city model. And that was the work of Stefan with Virtual City Systems and Voxelgrid GmbH. And the first thing we did, we pointed out a city square, the Salzstadel you see here, and we took photos with a drone and they put it into a hyperspectral camera, and they put it into a 3D point cloud. You can see here on the right, in the right corner, and this point cloud was put as a layer into the 3D city model, which has a level of detail 2. Made by Virtual City Systems, and this they put the pictures, the point cloud, into the model, so the model is very detailed around the city square you can see here. And then we had that's the next slide, collected data, weather data. On the square, city square, we took, you can see the mouse, I don't know, here, wind data, and on the surfaces of the houses, temperature, and we put this into Palm4U software, climate simulation software, which is open source software from University of Hanover. And the pictures you see here are made with weather data from 2 weather stations from the north and the south of the city. So it's not very accurate. It has to be more accurate. We are waiting for the simulations getting ready in October with real data. I'm very, very looking forward to it. And here we see the 3D model with a layer of the simulation. So you can see this is wind at night. You can see the dark places, there's not a lot of wind, and the lighter, there's a lot of wind at night. Here we have a summer day. You can see it's very hot summer night where it stays hot, and in the backyards it keeps cooler at night because we have a lot of shadow during the day. And as time is running fast, I come to some learnings we had in the project. If you want to have reliable data, reliable simulations, you have to set, you have to find good data in the city. So you have to implement lots of small weather stations around the city to have real data you can rely on. These simulations are very, very powerful tool. They can point out and enable real adaptations to the heat and climate impacts, and they can make it visible and understandable to any stakeholder. That is very good on the one side, and on the other side, if you are a city council or a city government, and you also have to work with other stakeholders, like and force economic interests for building buildings and so on, it may be a little bit difficult for you. So if you are a person or who wants to implement a tool like this, just keep on going. That's what we did in the project. We kept on going. It was quite difficult sometimes, and we know the time will come. Climate change will force even here in Bavaria, it will force us. So you don't have to sell the tools to the planners. They know these tools are powerful and what they can do, and it can planning much easier. Besides the impact on microclimate of city spaces can be seen immediately. So I come to the conclusion that at the end of the day, implementing such a tool is more a leader's job, and not only more, but it's a leader's job. If the leaders want the tools, they know the impact of the tools, and they want to go for it, all the rest will follow them. So keep on going. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Katrin. So I will just overtake. So now I start sharing my screen. What you see is the live application. You have already seen a few screenshots in the presentation of Katrin. So we are also partner in the mentioned research project, and I would like to draw your attention to another perspective on the topic of digital twins. My name is Stefan Trommeter, and as Managing Director, I'm responsible for the field of urban simulation at Virtual City Systems. So we are a software house for 3D WebGIS solutions, and for almost 20 years, we now support our customers by linking city model platforms with additional applications. So based on our software and tool set, of course. So, but let us come back to the topic and the target of today, urban cooling optimization. So how can we achieve this? We can achieve this by better solutions and of course by faster solutions. So, and how is this possible? We have to set up a digital and mostly automated process for planning, for simulation and monitoring. If we do so, we get a system of systems, and this system of systems is nowadays called urban digital twin. Important is, and Katrin also mentioned this field, that new digital processes will need a change in organization, in work and responsibility. So this might be the even bigger challenge to some of the customers, to some of the municipalities. We will see. So, but what makes this example a digital twin? So in the end, we have a city model platform. We can integrate the tree cataster and the greens cataster. We can integrate sensor data, so to result in an urban information platform. Within this city model platform, we have the possibility to integrate interactively planning scenarios. So what we see here is the model of this urban square called Salzstadel. This, of course, is just a very nice and fancy detailed model, but in the end, it works more or less the same with generating planning scenarios in the city model context. Then, of course, we have the possibility to select a certain area for exporting the data and to handing it over for the simulation. In this field, the climate simulation as well. So, and then in the end, we want to visualize the results of the simulation, just to share these results and yeah, to learn how the physics work, how the situation works in that field. So, and this is where we are right now here. What you see is a part of the results. On the right side, you see the wind during the night situation. So you see the wind, the air exchange. And if we, on the left side here, we see the night temperatures. And one of the effects we can identify is where we have higher wind speed during night, we have less temperature during night. So the wind cooling effect is clear to see at some of the places. So, but in the end, there are, of course, other effects as well. If we just activate the heating map for the heating day, we see that, of course, we have the highest temperatures on this open urban space. And we see that within this neighboring backyard, the heat is not so high. So, but we have seen that there the wind speeds during night are also small, so there is no high wind exchange. So what might be the reason for this? And if we deactivate the results, we see that within this backyard gardens, we have a lot of green. And this is, of course, the reason why there is no heating problem like we have it on the urban square. So based on this as-is analysis, we understand the situation. And starting from this, we can develop what-if scenarios. And with this, we can try to optimize urban cooling step by step. Thank you. If you have questions, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Stefan. I think both presentations kind of showed the combination of how a city could collaborate with the kind of special or specialized company or organization and could benefit in both ways. The next question I have for Catherine is, and I hope this is not too much to ask, is how has the use of the digital twins affected the way urban planning decisions are made in Rosenheim? I think you kind of touched a little bit on the kind of the leader's responsibility, but how the use of digital twins has affected urban planning decision, and what kind of insights you could or perspectives have been gained by using the digital twins.
We are still working on getting people working with it, to be honest. We have had a few courses to get planners into the system to make them knowing how to work with it, and we are making very small steps. So we are still using it for preparing, for example, if you want to plant a tree somewhere, I can take a picture out of it and show that. That's what we are using right now. We have not gone so far that we really do the planning with it. The project is still running until the end of 2024, so there's a lot of work still to be done, but I think we will make it work. So.
Sure.
Thank you. Then I may ask Stefan, thank you for also posting the link to the tool you've introduced here and visualized. My question is, can you scale this up to the entire city? Is that easily doable, or is it more effective because it's also quite potentially resource intensive to focus on specific areas within the city here, the center square? And if so, what is your selection criteria of if you need to focus on specific areas? Maybe you can
I can
enlighten us on this.
Give you short some hints on that. So for the climate simulation, our partners from the Fraunhofer Institute for Building Physics were responsible, and they used the Palm for Use software, which is open source. Katrin mentioned that. And in the end, we see our web-based solutions as kind of dealer for giving them the right data, the data they need for setting up the simulations. Maybe in addition, sensor data, which is provided with a sensor data platform. And in the end, we get results from them. Of course, it's possible to do a simulation for the whole city, but then the resolution is less. If you need high resolution, which is absolutely necessary, if you look at the details like trees and some public furniture things, then of course you have to focus on a smaller area, on a square or just a block. And of course, you can just investigate all of these important places then next to each other. But they start always with a huge climate model. Step to step, they come down to the high resolution detailed climate model, and so you can just do it once after another. Yeah.
Great. I think we want to kind of integrate Isabel and Barcelona into the discussion as well. So here I come up with another question, Isabel, and maybe we can have some further discussion on the plan you. And here is the question: is how does the community engagement play a role in the development and implementation of kind of urban planning? I mean, the plan and also the cooling strategies integrated within the plan. I would say, like particularly in your not just city but the metropolitan area.
All the process of approving the plan and developing the plan has been done with a very intense participatory process with a lot of presentations and workshops, etc., with the citizens, but also with experts, with politicians, with technique. So from the municipalities has been a very we spend a lot of time because we really think that has to be done all together. We all have to do it, the plan together. And I don't know if that answered the question you asked for. But see, I think in the webpage you can also find more information about it.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, so from our side,
I could put the link.
From our side, we see a huge increase in interest from the citizen side to what's going on, what will be changed, how these problems will be solved, and of course there are other specialized tools for solving this public engagement processes. We from our side, of course, try to inform the citizens with very easy to understand informations linked or integrated into the city model, and then the city model itself can be part of such a citizen engagement solution. So this is also part, some kind of digital twin, yeah, for the citizens. We see that all these different topics and solutions grow together very fast, and it's very, very dynamic in the moment. And it's great to see how we generate the synergies from the different single things which are out there by linking them to systems.
Thank you. Then talking about synergies and coming back to a question which was previously asked, it relates to Isabel's presentation, but I would very much like to hear also maybe the response from Katrin. It's about how ecosystem services in different parts of the city can provide ecosystem justice and equity for all populations in the design of urban areas. So it links a little bit of interaction where people are voicing their needs, but potentially people are also not voicing their needs because they are too busy doing other things because they need to do their living. So in that sense, there is the potential of interaction. At the same time, the city level may also be conscious of elements that of the interaction that is sometimes not happening. So coming to an end of that framework and explanation, in short, how can ecosystem justice and equity can be ensured? Maybe Isabel first.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all the population needs, all the citizens needs to really have a comfortable environment and so on. But it's true that the people with less incomes are also the ones that have smaller houses with poor climate response and so. So for them, it's for sure the priority that the public policies put the focus on. One thing is that we found out that it's true that we are putting all this network of climate shelters, but this thing, think it for the day, like you have a park or a public facility to go near your home and to be sure that they are all around for all the citizens. But the truth is that the biggest problem is during the night. And during the night, you are at home. So we have to really put a lot of effort also in this improvement of the temperature response of the buildings and to put, I don't know. Yeah, that's what would I say.
Katrin, would you like to complement?
Yeah, I think in Rosenheim, because it's so small, people have very easily the opportunity to get out of the city by daytime. So this is, and we have very lots of water around the city, so people can go out of the city to cool them down during the daytime. So it's not yet a big theme to talk about this, but it will come in the future, of course, because we have heat. We have heat in the inner city, the old part of the city, and that's what Isabel said during the nights. That will show up more and more, I guess, in the future. It's not yet a big theme, but it will come. We are not in Spain. It's not as hot here in Bavaria. Yet that's really true. It's even to the north of Germany. Or to the very west. We are still quite cool down here, and that's why it maybe is a little bit harder to get things running, but it will come. Okay.
Yes. So from an engineering point of view, we are faced with a very complex situation. So we are forced to build more flats to more living room. but if we just build the cities, the city centers more dense, then we have less wind exchange. So it's and because this whole topic is so complex, we need some smart and innovative tools to handle this complexity. So in the end, it's really an optimization problem. You have different boundary conditions, and the social part you mentioned is also an important boundary conditions by addressing the things. So in the end, just having an urban space just covered with trees, that would be perfect. But in reality, it's not possible most of the time. So the question would be how many trees I'm able to place and what will be the result. So if I just add one green facade at an urban space like we have seen in Rosenheim, I will never change the whole situation at this space. But when you are able to simulate this in a rather fast and digital process, you can really think about alternatives, and you can analyze it. You bring it to a to a technical level where you really can try to find rather optimized solutions for this huge challenge, because most of the targets are just working against each other. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm inviting everyone to put further questions into the chat, but I have another one. Actually, Stefan hinted that in his presentation, and I would like to ask Katrin and Isabel maybe to respond to that in terms of if we use digital tools. We will potentially have challenges with new responsibilities between departments, maybe also within between departments, but also new skills are needed. So from your perspective, using these tools within your city administration, what recommendations can you provide for others to consider and to be aware of how to make it work best? Katrin?
Overcome borders between departments, and I think that's the answer. And give a new mindset a chance, that it has all of us. We have to work together to get these challenges solved. And I don't know the English word, Haltung, to find a new
attitude.
To find a new attitude towards solving these future problems. I think that's my idea about it. That's all I can say. Sorry.
Maybe Isabel like to contribute?
Yeah, I think that the collaboration can be one way to achieve the results we want without having to know everything. No, I mean, it is possible not to know all the tools to be able to really. But I don't know. I think digital twins will really be something to come. And if we can plan the cities, is not the old way, no? Like it was, you have a cross section that says the sun comes like that, and that's it. That's all you have to do. We really need to make an analysis through topography, through wind direction, through all the year around, really in a very more complex way, and be able to explain it to the technicals and to the population in a simple way. So we can decide exactly which is the best use for every spot, for the buildings, but also from the public space. Not the same to put the place for the children with the shadow or not with shadow, with looking to the north, looking to the south. I mean, things can be more accurate, but are more complex to analyze. And we need to collaborate to be able to to use these new tools we have on the table.
Thanks a lot. Well, we're also thrilled to be joined by the city of Arnhem and discuss the calling cities through realizing a calling network. And here we give the floor to Tinte Wog, project leader for the EU project Cool Cities from the city of Arnhem. Tine, hope you are able to take the floor and join us on this discussion.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I can hold the floor. Is it possible, because I had a PowerPoint, is it possible that we can show that? Or
yes, please. Do you want to share it or?
Yeah, I sent it to someone. I don't know. Maybe.
All right. Alina can share it. No problem.
Yes, this is.
Here we go.
Yes. So yeah, I think we can start right away. I'm sorry that I jumped in the last minutes of this presentation or this webinar because I had some other appointments, but I'm happy I can do it now. So yes, again, hello everyone. My name is Tijn de Voogd, and I work as a project manager for the municipality of Arnhem. And we are about to be the lead partner of the project Cool Cities. And it's I don't know if you are familiar with the Interreg project, but it's like it's a big program who are funding some regional development projects. And we are part of that. And we, as lead partner, are like a project manager of this project. But one thing I do also want to mention is that this project is relatively young. We started in January this year, so I cannot show our experiences yet, but because we are just out of the starting phase. But I can do tell you something more about how we're going to realize a cool network. So I'm going to tell you in a bit. So with that said, I'd like to give a quick overview of our project and highlight the importance of the work we are doing. Is it possible you can go to the next slide? Oh, no, I'm sorry, previous slide, sorry. Yes, thank you. So as you can see on this slide, we are a European partnership containing of 11 partners, including some educational research institutions from the Netherlands and from Germany. In the Netherlands, it's Amsterdam, University of Applied Sciences, and in Germany we have the University of Hamburg, as well as some local authorities and agencies from the Netherlands, Germany, Sweden, France, and Belgium. And then, like local authorities, you must think about cities or municipalities or like urban areas. If you can go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So the challenge and what the goal is of this project, I don't think I'm saying something new if cities are facing some severe impacts of the climate change with the rising temperatures and the more frequent heat waves. Even though it's still cold here in the northern of the EU member states, but it's getting hotter also here. So we are really need to come up with a good solution for this, because these high temperatures are not only causing some discomfort, but also are posing extreme health risks, especially for the most vulnerable populations, such like the elderly or the young children or those with chronic illnesses, but also those who are facing the consequences, the negative consequences of the socioeconomic factors. But it affects all of us, of course, you and me, and everybody. So that's the challenge. The goal that we are facing that we have in this project is to tackle these challenges, of course, and we believe that we need some innovative solutions for that, especially here in the urban areas, also in Arnhem, but also in our other partner cities. So we believe that we need some innovative solution, and within the Cool Cities project, we think that establishing a cool network is such an innovative solution. So what is a cool network? Maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but a cool network is a system of cool spots. Think about parks or shaded places or waters, or just cool spots that are connected via cool shaded routes, like a road with a lot of trees that are creating a lot of shade and creating a lot of reduction of CO2 at the same time, so that they are connected with each other. So cool spots connected via cool shaded routes, and by reducing the impact of this high outdoor temperatures, and particularly most for the vulnerable residents. So that's what we are, that's the special focus on. Like the special focus is on the most vulnerable residents. So by reducing the impact of these high outdoor temperatures, we are creating more resilient, sustainable, and cool and enjoyable urban spaces to live in. So our aim is to create cities that are comfortable during these high temperatures, and mainly by creating shade via these cool shaded routes. In this project, Cool Cities, we are working together on developing a roadmap that will help other urban areas effectively deal with these extreme temperatures. So not only our project, but also other urban areas. And in this roadmap, you can see our experiences. But I will tell you something a bit about that in more. So on this slide, you can see the process of our project and how we're going to do it. Well, you can see it's divided into three phases. Firstly, there is the analysis phase, where we work on the strategy for planning a cool network, and that's mostly our our knowledge institutions and our universities there are creating a methodology so that our partners can put it in the pilot phase, so that they can use it in their pilot phase for their own pilots, to use this university-based assessment and methodology. So in this pilot phase, the next phase, we are carrying out 8 pilots, at the top of my head, 8 pilots in our 6 pilot partner cities, those where they are using the methodology. And then last but not least, we get to the evaluation monitoring phase, and this is where we assess the process of the pilot phase, and learn from each other's experiences and learn from the worst and the best practices. And all of this experience we are putting in this roadmap that will cover the important steps, for instance, how a cool network operates, identifying the target audience, like who is it aimed at, the best optimal deployment locations, where to even set it up, outlining the implementation procedures, how to get started, and estimating the associated cost, and how much will it cost, and how can we associate with other urban problems or challenges cities face, like biodiversity or sustainability. So that's also in this roadmap. So the roadmap is our big final project that we want to share with the rest of Europe and the rest of our North Sea region boundaries, but also behind those boundaries. And we want to share it with a lot of southern European countries. So yes, and one thing I do want to mention, because I forgot in this analysis phase, it's a really important phase, is that we are combining GIS data with socioeconomic factors, like demographics or ages, like ages, but also like financial income, etc., etc. So that was a really short pitch on how this project of us is going, and what we are going to deliver at the end, like the roadmap. And I do also want to acknowledge the significance of working together and stay in contact with other like-minded professionals, because we want to learn from each other, and I think we can learn a lot from each other, but we can also teach other cities to create a cool network on their own. And that's why I want to thank the organization for inviting me to pitch the project. And for me, it's a real bummer that I could only join now. But nevertheless, I want to thank you very much. And yes. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Yes, actually, there is one question which is looking at the entire set here of speakers, which is related also to costs. I mean, the digital twin tools, if we use them or other means, will have some costs. But we were also talking about shortening the time frame and also being potentially more effective in deploying different solutions. So in terms of cost benefit, any reaction here? Go for twin tools. Tin, can you tell, or any other? Please comment on that very important question.
Yeah. One thing I can tell you something about the cost effectiveness about cool networks is that you are working on one challenge, and I already said it, I think, but you also are working on other challenges like biodiversity and sustainability. So the problems or the challenges that challenges are facing, like how to evolve and how to fix those challenges, this cool network is already there. So if you are talking about CO2 reduction or increasing, if a cool network is there, the cool shaded routes are also applying on those challenges. So and I know the direction you wanted to go with you. We are not really working with digital twins, and that's why I asked to change the title of our of my how you say it in here. But we are thinking about, of course, the associated cost. That I told you something about that, but we are not really working with digital twins. So I'm afraid I cannot tell you something more about digital twins.
Okay, then maybe we ask Katrin and Isabel, digital twins, would you recommend Arnhem to use it? Shall they go for it? Would you do it again since you are using it? Katrin, you are smiling. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm absolutely fancy about enthusiastic about the twin. And I'm still, but I'm working on getting it to the other people. This enthusiastic thinking about it. I would do it again. Yes, definitely.
Isabel?
Me, well, I'm from the old school. I started working on with the paper, no blueprint, like like ink and things like that. So I some years ago I found out that I really need more information. So we are really integrated the GIS, the Geographical Information System. It's not possible to face the planification today without all this information. So that is already integrated. But we are realizing that we really need to scale up and work on 3D information system, and this 3D plus time. And that the only way to do it is with digital twins. We still don't have this information. We asked the Department of Cartography, please, you need to move on, and we are working on it. It's not still like I think now there's this experience of trying to make a digital twin of the whole area, and we have some meetings and that's the things we need that digital twin contains, but we still don't do it. But it's probably going to be an effort as it was moving from the paper and so to the digital geographical system, but it's inevitable, I think.
Great, thank you so much. It's 11 o'clock and 1 minute. We need to wrap up. Bart, maybe just 2 points that you have taken from the vivid and rich discussion.
Great, thanks. Well, I will start with kind of the points that Katrin brought up, the issue of the people have to be cautious of the kind of the failure of data collection in the city, and I think it's a very good example. Although it's a negative point, I think people have to be aware. Cities have to be aware of that obstacle. And I think it's good that we've mentioned here. And also, what she also pointed out is working with stakeholders with different financial interests could be difficult to implement, because again, there is kind of people pulling different directions. On the Barcelona, I think what I found was interesting was bioclimatic criteria, the play of the mass and the void, balance the buildings and the uses of intensity versus the healthy, cohesive, and balanced living environment. So I think that was something that kind of struck to me as a point where they kind of focused on that aspect. And I would love to share more, but unfortunately time is limited. So yeah.
Well, thank you. I would say from looking at what we have presented here, go for it. I think there are lots of benefits that you have here listened to, have seen the visualization. We do recommend having a roadmap in mind. And here Tin pointed out the different layers of what you should analyze. Use when you analyze digital tools, they make it faster, certainly in the long run. So if you haven't started that journey yet, I think the message from Catherine is definitely go for it. It's be enthusiastic about it. Nevertheless, it's sometimes challenging. Create your network locally as well as internationally, even using ICLEI, of course, in that. So use the means you have, open source, talk to universities you're in touch with, talk to the SMEs that bring innovative solutions to the table. And I think visualization in the end is a wonderful mean of communication, of interaction, of also creating social justice and in the broader sense. And so there is a real potential of creating an integrative city with different aspects using here digital twins. With that message, we would like to let you go into the day with inspirations for new arguments to come. Follow us. There is a link also here where you can meet us for a next event, Act on Heat, the 13th of November in Brussels, for instance. Making your digital sprint in heating and cooling. More exchanges are possible. But first of all, thank you so much for the speakers here present for that very exchange. And with that, have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Thank you very
invitation.
much. Bye.
Enjoy.
Bye.
You.